Okay, hi. Welcome to our 27J Honor Band concert here today. My name is Alex Travis, and I'm the band director at Quist Middle School. No, oh yeah, we got it, okay. So welcome, and help me thank our super awesome students for being here today. They have worked really hard over the past couple of weeks. They had a rehearsal on 2 Tuesdays ago. They had a rehearsal this last Tuesday, and they had a rehearsal all day today with our guest clinician, and they have done a phenomenal job getting this concert together. So one more time for our students up here. Yeah. Each student was chosen by their middle school band director at their respective schools for being a remarkable student and musician. And it was really hard to choose. Like, I had students that didn't get to come. So every student here is phenomenal. They did a really, really good job in preparing for tonight. I guess it's the afternoon though. I wrote notes, so I'm gonna use those. If you are a Quist parent, I hate public speaking. And you know this. All right, honor bands are really special. They are a really big opportunity for these students to connect with each other, to learn from other adults. And in our world right now, I know during lunchtime we see phones out all the time. We're really isolated and competitive. And it's a really great chance for these students and us adults to get together and do something where we're doing something together for a common cause. And I just really cannot say enough how awesome it is that we have this. This is our first honor band since 2020. And we are reviving the event again, and we are so excited to do so. So thank you all for supporting your students in music. It is a really awesome journey that you're supporting them through, and thank you for the time shuttling back and forth, taking those really big instruments. We really appreciate it, so thank you. I wanted to take the time to thank any building administrators, district administrators, or school board members. If you're here today, would you mind standing up so we can thank you for your work that you do? Anybody? Yeah, let's clap it. And working in 27J is like no other district. I wanted to thank all the band directors here and that could not make it today for their really hard work with these students. If it wasn't for all the work that they do on a daily basis, these students couldn't be here right now. So thank you for making 27J a great place to work. Music teachers, I know you're probably backstage fixing stuff. Great, thanks. All right, without further ado, I'm going to introduce our clinician today. Mr. Sebastian Adams is a dear friend of mine, has been for a long time. Oh, okay, anyway, he has been our clinician this week, and it has been a joy having him. He's a phenomenal musician, he's a clarinet player, but he's also a phenomenal teacher. He teaches these kids things in 5 minutes that we couldn't hope to accomplish in a whole day. So it's really, really great. Thank you to Sebastian Adams for being here today. He is in his 9th year of teaching in the St. Brighton Valley School District, and he was awesome and came from their really busy week this week and came to spend some time with your students today. So can we get a really big round of applause for Sebastian Adams? And I promise this will be a short concert, so I'm gonna let you hear it now. Have a great day.
This middle school band, let's give it up for them one more time. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming to this afternoon's concert. It's just such a joy for creating music with students, for their families, friends, teachers. This is one of the best parts of being a musician, in my opinion. I met all of these students 6 hours ago, I think. And the way that they're playing their instruments and the way they interpret the music and how much vulnerability they're showing in their playing and their questions and their jokes, I feel like we've known each other already for a really long time. And I don't know if I've ever felt this way in this short amount of time with you all. I'm really honored to be in front of them and to be in front of you because I think very highly of the students here and I also think very highly of their teachers. But more on that later. That last piece we just played is called Avenger. It's such a fun standard to play. I think these kids really, really like it. Did you guys like that piece? Yeah. You all can tell too that they liked it, I'm sure. This next piece is very different. It is a piece I've never conducted before, but was really excited to prepare with them. It's titled Fragile. And the composer wrote this piece of music acknowledging the fact that a lot of music out there is celebrating bravery and celebrating strength and happiness and joy, even when there's a piece that's about something really sad, like a horrible event that everyone experienced and felt sad about. This is a piece of music that highlights mental health as a very important issue in the 21st century. There's a lot going on in the world, both outside of our homes and in our homes. There's a lot going on at school, and it's a lot for a human being to take in. And so this composer wanted to write a piece of music that was less about the resilience that people have as they get through a mental health crisis, and more about just digging in deep as to what the experience actually is. I thought a lot about how I was going to program this piece and whether to program it, and I decided to go through with it because I believe in what the composer believes as well. I think that we all need an opportunity to show that vulnerability and to dig in deep, because mental health is a lifelong journey. These students really bring out a lot of beautiful colors and also really dissonance disturbing colors in this as well as what's written. So I hope you all enjoy Fragile by Randall Standridge. I was overhearing a conversation between two directors, and I did not know this is the first honor band event that 27J has had since before the pandemic, which is, I'm totally blown away by how everything has been put together and in this amazing school with these amazing students. I really think these kids deserve another round of applause after that. This next piece, entitled Spitfire. Spitfire is a phrase that was used by the Tuskegee Airmen crew, this elite crew in World War II known as the Red Tails. Now, many of you are familiar with Jim Crow laws in the early 20th century and how segregation was pretty rampant in the South, in places in the North as well, in schools, and it was also rampant within the armed forces. This was before the, I believe this was before the Air Force was established. Air Force was established after World War I. So these airmen were a part of the United States Airmen Corps. In any event, it was not legal for black men to serve with white men in the military, and it was also not legal for black men to participate in combat or to serve in combat. That was amongst a lot of the problematic issues that were prevalent back then. Anyway, this airman group, called the Tuskegee Airmen, also the Red Tails, was a specialized group that was permitted to do these things. This was sort of like what they called an experimental program in the military, which is very strange wording, kind of problematic in my opinion. But they were tasked to accompany and protect bombers along the Mediterranean. So these airmen pretty much proved everything wrong in anyone's minds that people of color could not serve in the military effectively. And not only were they extremely successful and had the best track record of protecting these bombers, but the tactics that they developed through their training and through their missions, the Air Force would ultimately adopt and use during the Cold War and use today even. And for Black History Month, I wanted to program this piece because this is not the only group of black folk who maybe are not as well known as their white counterparts in terms of their contributions to our country. If it were not for this airman group, it's very likely we would not have made the turnaround in World War II in the Mediterranean and ultimately becoming victorious, if you could call it that, in World War II. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this piece. It's a difficult piece, it's a fun piece, there's a lot of drama in it, and the students really love it too. And I hope at the end of this piece, everyone here walks away with wondering what other things we could do to study up on black culture and the contributions that black folk has made to our society. So this is going to seem self-serving, but let's applaud after that. Let's applaud. We hope you enjoy Spitfire. Hello. Before we move on to our last piece, I want to recognize a few groups of people. Everything you're seeing on stage here is but a piece of the story of what happens in the many, many classrooms involved in this. There's a very special group of people, some of whom I just met today, some of whom I've known for a few years, and some of whom I met many, many years ago. Our music teachers do a lot of work. They do more than just teaching music, just teaching instruments, fixing instruments for free, teaching intonation, teaching about balance, blend, rhythm. They also do a lot of clerical work. They do a lot of mental health related things. They communicate with you all. They are jacks of all trades, and honestly, as a teacher myself, I don't know how we quite make it to the end of every day. It is quite an undertaking. Based on how I've felt I've connected with these students in just the course of 6 hours, that is very telling to me that the concept of joy and love and respect and commitment is so palpable in their own classrooms. This does not happen in a single day. So there's no way to do this in an enough way to show how much I appreciate these people. But if you're in the audience or if you're on stage hiding away, I'd like for you to come on stage or stand up and please be recognized by our families and our students. Directors, come on out and say hi. Just putting together an event like this, on top of everything else, is a full-time job. I know this because I just did this for our own district at St. Brighton Valley School District, where I work. We did this concert on Wednesday of just last week. And it's a lot. Even with so many teachers in one place, it takes a lot of coordination. So thank you all so much. I want to thank Armando Solis and Prairie View High School and everyone involved there for giving us a home to play in. And that kind of gets into the next part. Being a musician is more than just write notes, write rhythms, and becoming a master in one's instrument. One of the students during lunch asked me, why did you want to become a music teacher? And it's because music has taught me more about myself than anything else, and it's taught me about the world. And perhaps if you agree, at least to an extent, nod. So a lot of these students are like, yeah, duh, of course I learned so much about myself. Whether they choose to continue a career in music or not, it is every single music teacher's dream that their students continue a lifelong relationship with music. Whether that's participating in community bands, playing in college bands, or even being an avid listener to music and knowing who their favorite bands are or their favorite musicians. I so hope that these students choose to continue to do music into high school and somehow into college. And none of that is possible, and none of this is possible without you all, without family, without friends, parents, guardians. It takes a lot of support on your ends too. And I'm not just talking driving them to and from, I'm not talking about just the money, but hearing them play in your homes, I'm sure that takes a lot of patience as well, right? I mean, some giggles here. Practice makes permanent. I want an opportunity for our students to thank everyone in the audience. Students, would you please show your appreciation for everyone out here and their support for you? Mr. Solis invited these amazing young musicians to the Prairie View Marching Band during lunch today. And this isn't just because he's my former student, but I can't stress enough how an amazing experience that will be. And if you chat with your kids tonight about that opportunity, contact him and get more information because he can really bring a even more phenomenal experience for your students. I think that's all I have to say. I want to talk about Swahili Folk Hymn. This is such a great tune. It's a fun tune, and it's going to feature student soloists. Some of them have played a written solo, others of them actually composed their own solo. They have it written on the music stand right now, and they're going to stand up and play it and sit back down, and we'll all applaud for them at the very end. Thank you so much again for coming to tonight's concert, or this afternoon's concert, and thank you so much for your support. I want to thank District 27J and all the music teachers involved. Let's give it up for this group of students one more time.
Out there in